machine.
Yeah.
They make house calls. That's
pretty
a
cool.
roving embroidery machine company.
Well, we got D&D Towing here. That's a new car of the tow rig of the future.
That's Daryl there. He does an awful lot of towing for us and does a terrific
Daryl is a
job.
great community supporter.
He is. He's done a lot of things for us when it comes to Rotary and whatnot, and he never will take a penny.
No, and he's done the same for the fire department through the years. If we need cars to break apart for training, he's there to do it for us.
I remember one time a couple years ago when we had a themed auction here, and Ken Austin loaned us one of his vehicles, a 1929 Lincoln Premier, and we didn't want to drive it to the event, so Daryl came and got it and brought it back for us.
And here we have a 1970 Barracuda convertible.
Do you know that a 1971 Barracuda just sold at the Mecum auction for $3.8 million?
Wow. That'd be a little bit out of my budget.
It was the only one that exists with all matching numbers and all the original stuff, and it went for $3.8 million. It was really a shock.
Well, I guess you can understand why if it's the only one that everything matches up.
Yeah, and that is the key.
Yeah.
Most of the money in classic cars now is in originals or ones they call survivors. And even if they're not always in the best shape, they bring a lot
They're
more
still
money.
there, yeah. Well, and you get a little touch of that if you go out in Ken Austin's buildings with all his collectible antique vehicles.
Isn't that a collection?
Yes.
Wow. Blessed are the peacemakers, Al.
Yes. And coming up, we have a vehicle that's Boys Janitorial, and it's a tribute to Mike Boys, who has done so much over the years for the Newburgh Old Fashioned Festival. And to honor him this year, the International Music Stage has been renamed the Mike Boys International Stage.
He ran this for how many years?
I don't have an exact number, but many.
Oh, God, yes.
And the other thing that he did is if things were short, he came up with some dollars to make sure they worked. He was just Mr. Newburgh.
Yep, they don't make them like
and
Mike every day.
I was proud to have him as a close friend, and he's missed by all of us.
That he is. Well, this is an interesting vehicle here. That's an old Mercedes.
Fat GFX. What can you tell us, John? I don't know much about it.
Well, it's an old Mercedes. It's a converted Mercedes. It's probably a military vehicle of some kind.
Yep.
Someone's done a lot of work on it. It's a four-wheel drive, and it's been worked on a bit.
Rear steer.
Yeah. Easier to park that way, Al.
Yeah, well, that would be helpful sometimes. Well, this says 30B, so... Oh, that's some more of the fat GFX.
Yeah. That's a wrap company. They do a lot of signs.
Oh, okay.
Where, that plastic wrap that.
The wrap around. Yeah, that's the thing today.
Yeah, and you can it holds up well, and it's a whole lot cheaper than paint.
Well, I can remember back in my day when I had a sign painted on my rig for my restaurant.
Oh yeah.
Today you wouldn't do that. Here's Pogie's Subs. Long-time business in Newburgh. Well, it says 24 years.
Yeah, 24 years.
Good time. Now
we order those a lot for the dealership for events, and the favorite at our place is the Italian.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Really good.
And here's the Newburgh Youth Cheer. Well, there's our national champions at tomorrow.
I was just going to say that future national champs.
Yep.
They're pretty good right now.
They are. It's just like the sport programs. You get them started young, and tomorrow you reap the dividends.
Well, that's the key.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at communities around here like Sherwood, where their youth football program is just phenomenal.
Yeah, and look what it's doing.
Yeah, and you got 400 kids in the youth football program. It really and Newburgh's coming a long way in that.
They
regard.
are.
They really getting their act together there.
There's Newburgh Burgerville.
Great place for a burger, isn't it, Al?
It is. Yes, and their fry sauces.
Milkshakes.
Yes, and their fry sauces.
Yeah,
tasty.
very good.
Now we got Pitter Patter. Quite a consignment boutique in Newburgh on 1st Street, right next door to the Cameo Theater. Not only next door to the Cameo, but on the other side is Storrs Barbecue. Good addition, a good part of the 1st Street family.
Yeah, that's children's consignment for clothing. It's quite an addition to town.
It is.
They do a lot of good.
It's not just clothing; it's strollers and all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Well, now that's interesting. That float's got a rotary sign on there, a three-sided rotary sign.
Yep.
And I wonder how they're driving that sign.
But it's some kind of a battery-operated.
Covered with flowers. I feel we're
we're
at the Rose Bowl parade
They
here.
put some time into it.
Yeah, it's like chrysanthemums, I think, aren't they, Al?
Yes. Back to what you see in some of the old 1930s and 40s Berrien Festival Farmeroo parades in Newburgh, where they put a lot into the floats.
Yeah, they do. They do.
Now we got some politicians coming through here.
Yeah, Jason Yates running for Congress.
Yeah, this being an election year, we'll see a lot of that.
No, we won't get into a political discussion.
No, we won't.
We need some help.
Yes, we do. But here on the radio isn't a place for us to start doing the dialogue.
Not today.
No. Because I, like you, do have my thoughts on some things.
Yeah, everybody does. Everybody's got an opinion.
Yes, they do. You know, we must be doing all right. Dave hasn't come over here and put a noose around our neck.
Not yet. Maybe the mics aren't live, Al.
That could be.
Yeah, that's why he's not worried.
Just selectively keeping us shut off.
Here we go.
We have Fat Bugs, better known as Bug Busters, one of the longtime Newburgh businesses on termite and pest control.
Obviously, a little bit of a play on Ghostbusters. Who you going to call?
Yes. Well, we have Fisher Roofing coming along here now, and it looks like they're ready for action.
Well, they may be.
They could be.
They may have a job here on this route.
Could be. They've got a business that's been around Newburgh for a long time, and I hear good things about them for the work that they do.
Oh, yeah, I remember Jim Fisher sold a business here a while back, but he was a long-time successful business person here in Newburgh and Sherwood. Those are cedar shingles, too, there,
Yes,
Al.
they are. In this day and age, cedar shingles aren't quite the great thing they used to be.
No, there's some composite stuff now that's just as good or better.
And cedar shingles aid fires in the urban interface.
Wow. Now, there's a boat for you there.
Yes.
That is an original mahogany. Man, oh, man. That is unbelievable.
2,500 hours went into restoring that.
Yeah, that's a classic. Ken Austin's got one in his museum, a century mahogany runabout that's a beautiful boat.
And here's the representative from the local Dutch Bros, one of the big coffee outlets here in town. Well, not just in Newburgh, every place you go.
You know, that boat looks like a Chris Craft. I'm not sure what it is, but it looks like a Chris Craft. And they started the boat up. I've never seen that before. The boat is running as it's going down the road.
It is.
Prop spinning and everything.
And now we have the band of the parade that's on foot. It's The Beat Goes On. We're so happy to have them here again this year. And the crowd's like a band.
Yeah, it's an all-adult band, too, you know.
Yeah.
There used to be a lot of those where I came from back in Pennsylvania, but you don't see a lot of them as much anymore. They sound good, don't they, Al?
Yes, they do. And then what we find out is thanks to Tom Vonderchek at Gem 100, he's buying all of these folks their lunch today.
Oh, is that right?
Yes.
Well, there's another big contributor to the
that's
community.
That's another big Mr. Newberg is Tom and Linda Vonderchek.
You know, I see they have a whole row of saxophones there.
Yep.
My wife says you can't have a band without saxophones in it. I tend to agree with her.
Yep, I'd have to agree. It looks like they're going to do a trip to Shanghai.
Looks that way.
Yes. And here's Lingelbach Customs RC Hot Rods. This is a 1968 Mustang. You can probably talk more to a Mustang than I could, John.
Well, that's not a 68 though. That's about a 2006.
Okay.
In fact, it's a 40th anniversary, so
Okay.
that would make it a 40th anniversary. Would make it a 2004.
Kind of a special issue then.
Yeah, 2004. Now the 50th is coming out this year, 2015. In fact, as a promo and as publicity for publicity, Ford made 1964 special edition 50th anniversary Mustangs.
Awesome. You got one of them coming to your dealership?
No.
Darn.
Those have been committed for quite some time.
Wouldn't you have loved to get a hold of one of those?
Goodness, yes. Well, now there's an old Ford tractor. Looks like an 8N.
1951.
Yep, definitely an 8N.
Yep. And that'd be the Northside Community Church.
They sold about 15 million of those before they quit making
There's
them.
a lot of them probably still running today.
I have one myself.
Yep. And here comes our Yamhill County commissioners.
Three
all
Musketeers,
three of them.
Ellen Springer, Kathy George, and Mary Sterritt.
Yes, yes, yes.
Congratulations to them on winning the election.
They are throwing candy, though, I hope you know.
Well, they probably got special dispensation now since they're commissioners. What do you think?
Yes, yes.
They know somebody on the inside.
That could be. Now the Friends of Historic Champoeg are going by rather quickly. I don't know. Maybe they want to get away from John and I.
Well,
Can't.
that's a possibility.
Yeah.
You do have a reputation, you know.
Oh, how about yours?
Well, I'm not talking about mine. I'm
I
talking
am,
about,
though.
Oh, you would, of course.
Turnabout's fair play, my friend.
I'll tell you one thing about that Champoeg Park. The historical piece of that operation over there is really pretty impressive.
Yes, it is.
You know, the period dress and the way they used to farm and the way they made things and all that. It's kind of a miniature Williamsburg, Virginia. It's pretty impressive, and a lot of people really don't even know that it's there.
The wife of one of Newberg's lieutenant firefighter paramedics plays into that a lot and gets involved in that over there.
Yeah, they do a nice
and
job.
She dresses the part, trust me.
Educational for kids.
Yep, yep. And here's the Drive Out Cancer, Marty's party. Hey, Marty, how are you? Fine, fine.
Well, that's a good
Relay
idea.
for life.
A good idea, driving out cancer.
Yep.
Making some progress, but need to make it a little quicker, I'd say. Wouldn't you, Al?
Someday it'll happen.
Oh, we'll get there.
Yeah, we will. Okay, here comes a piece of antique firefighting equipment.
Boy, I'll say, that's an old hand pumper there.
Yes,
isn't it?
and that's before my time, before you get your 2 bits worth in. And this will be fired up and running tomorrow down on the field, Rennie Field.
Boy, that is really impressive.
They will be pumping with that tomorrow.
Not to mention the Clydesdale's pulling it.
Yes, yes. And this is an old hose wagon.
Boy, those are good-sized horses.
Yep.
They're about, they must be 2,500 pounds apiece.
Yes, if one of those stepped on my toe, I think I would feel it.
And I think you would
Or
do.
it would squash it, one or the other.
Too.
Now we have St. Peter Catholic Church coming by.
Yeah, it's too bad about Father Nibbler a few
Yep.
years ago, isn't it, Al?
That was tragic.
Community misses him as well.
Yep. But everything I'm hearing, the new priest is quite well received there.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Very
Yeah,
much a communicator.
I've heard the same thing,
In fact, here he is, right here to our left.
Out amongst the folks, Al.
Yes, he is. Well, and they're pushing the Father Nimbler golf tournament, which is coming up.
Yeah. Yeah, we always participate in that.
It says it's on September 6th of this year.
Yes, it does.
But I know when the church treats the firefighters to breakfast when the community is undecorated at Christmas time, he always makes sure he comes out and says hi to everybody and thanks, and it means a lot to the guys in the fire department.
Oh, I'm sure it should. Sure. It's a pretty nice looking old Chevrolet
Yes,
truck.
it
there, isn't
is.
Al?
That's well restored.
Well, here's the Sherwood Robin Hood Festival. That's
Yep.
coming up shortly, isn't it?
Third weekend of July, I think it's behind us.
Oh, is it behind third week? Yes, it is.
last weekend. There was the years that we competed.
Yeah. Oh, that would have been not a good idea.
Well, back in the day, though, it was just part of life.
Yep.
You
I
never can do. It's like Newburgh's competing with Dayton today.
Well, at least Dayton's a little further away.
Well, that and but Dayton's is tonight. That's the good thing.
Okay, good.
And they moved a lot of their stuff to at night, so they could not be a direct competitor with Newburgh.
A little coordination doesn't hurt.
Yep.
You got a pretty short window sometimes in Oregon about having these kinds of things.
Yes, we do.
You know, it's always a little lucky when you got a nice
Just
day.
think if this had been like Tuesday.
Oh, that would have been tough.
Yeah.
We've had really good luck here, though.
We have.
And today it's cooler than most.
Yep. Here's a nice looking, kept up 63 Chev Impala.
Yep. We're restoring a 65 Impala Supersport for Ralph Kuzer, who's donating it for a raffle to the ministries that he serves. There's a charitable organization, yeah. And he's spending a considerable amount of money to restore that. It's really, really looking nice. And that's a big contribution for an independent citizen to make.
Here's the Newburgh Animal Shelter.
Yep. We're proud to have one of our trucks pulling that float.
Yes, and they've done a great job getting that shelter built. And they're even playing a bigger role now that Newburgh Dundee Police Department has kind of changed their ability to approach to things.
Yeah, you got to give them a lot of credit, too, because, I mean, that's an important function they perform there, I tell you.
And that was a lot of years of, you could say, blood, sweat, and tears to get it to where it's at today.
Those people are committed folks, I can tell you that.
Yep.
Well, here's the Love Bus.
Yes.
What do you got to say about that, Al?
Well, let's go. You want to go down to Eugene to where the first real one was? First student. They've done a good job with stickers on that to liven it up.
It looks like a flashback to the 60s, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. Ken Kesey, isn't that who the man was that did the original kind of a love van across the country?
Yeah, I think it was. I think you're right about that, Al.
I remember those days.
Well, you should.
Yes.
You were there.
Well, kind of.
The best way to know history is to live it, isn't it?
Yes, and, well, no, I'll leave that alone. And here's the Newburgh Summer Band. A mix of students from the Newburgh school system.
Those kids sound pretty good, don't they?
Yes, they do.
And there's a row of saxophones again, Al.
Yep.
Somebody's getting the message.
Are you a good saxophone player?
No, I can't play anything.
Okay.
Music is not my forte.
Okay.
I can't sing either.
And here comes Water Bear, carpet cleaning and restoration.
57 Chevrolet convertible.
Yep.
That's always a favorite among the classic car collectors.
And being black in color, it's looking pretty good with the sun glistening on it.
Well, here comes Tim Casey, Newburgh's own Tim Casey, running for sheriff this year.
One of the two Tims that are running for office.
Yeah.
He's doing better than I do. I don't think I'd make it through the parade riding a horse. Look who's following up, his brother, Brian.
Brian Casey, the chief of police.
Hey, Brian.
How you doing, chief? Not every parade has the chief of police. Are you supporting Tim Casey, your brother, for sheriff? Brian Casey.
Oh, there you go. Yes. Well, hey,
the
they
people of
worked
Newburgh
hard to get us together.
If you're running for sheriff, the people of Newburgh will be happy to hear it.
Yes.
That's our chief here, Brian Casey, who does a heck of a job as chief of police here in Newburgh. In fact, Newburgh was recognized here just a short time ago for being the 4th safest city in Oregon.
Yep.
And that's quite an accomplishment.
That, and they put a heck of a deal together when they merged the Newburgh and Dundee police departments together.
Yes.
Into one, and
Yes.
it's a good, smooth-running organization.
Yep.
Well, it looks like Fred Casey's driving that pickup.
He
which
is.
would be Brian and Tim's dad.
Yep. He's doing a good job.
Yep.
I like that sign on that truck, too. Newburgh Ford, it says. You've heard
Oh,
of them,
I
haven't you?
thought it said Tim Casey for sheriff.
It says both.
I'm not going to miss a beat here, buddy.
Hey, there's something you don't see very often
That's
because
right.
they've made very few of them.
Yep.
That's a lot about a 2003 Ford Thunderbird convertible.
Well, I would say Tim is well represented here today.
He is.
Yep.
Well represented.
Yep.
That is my favorite color.
That is a beautiful color.
Right now it's called ruby red, and we've started to order even trucks in that color.
Have you?
Yeah, it really is popular. Kind of like the old candy apple red.
Yep.
You might remember from the 20s.
I do. Yes, I do. Now you only hear about it. Oh, there's a retired Newburgh attorney, Mike Gunn, and his wife,
yeah.
Shar.
That's a Newburgh Ford 2014 California Special convertible.
Awesome.
Mike came in looking for a black coupe with a standard transmission and drove out in a red convertible with an automatic.
Good.
That's
Do you
salesmanship.
remember when Mike and his wife ran the A&W root beer stand here in Newburgh?
No, that was before I got here.
I can tell you about it.
I've heard about it.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And I'm sorry to go so far back in time.
Oh, that's okay, Al.
Save the pool.
Save the pool.
I'm going to be there to save the pool. Thank you. Yes.
Awesome.
'Cause I was around when it was built.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty important undertaking that they're trying to get
I hope they go
accomplished.
for it.
This town needs a pool. It really does.
And here we've got the Salem Parks and Recs board out here. See Bart Ryerson. No, it's a good hat, sir. No. Let me get that off of there. That would be Don Loving that's giving me some pointers here. Thank you.
No, that would be a big loss to this community if we aren't able to maintain that pool. And effectively, that pool has outlived its life expectancy.
Yes.
They've done a good job of keeping it working over the years, but sooner or later, you've got to do something
And
different.
in recent years, they've done a good job of patching it.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. I mean, they've
You
kept
get
it
into
going.
the infrastructure as that pool,
Yeah.
it's hurting, and they do need the big upgrade they're going to go for.
Newburgh was ahead of its time when they built that pool,
Yep,
and now it's time to catch up, I think, don't you?
I do, and I think with the group that's behind it, I think they can put it off.
Well, they got a bunch of dedicated people, and when you get people committed, things
Yep.
happen, as
And
you know.
here comes the latest addition to the Old Fashioned Festival this year, disc golf. And in the earlier parts of things today, Brian Grant was here in town to help promote it. And
Oh, that's frisbee golf. Yeah, I've
Yeah.
seen that before. They've got a frisbee golf. Of course, this is disc golf, which is a little different, a little smaller. But they've got a full frisbee golf course at Shampooet Park.
do they?
Oh yeah.
But no, they've done a great job in promoting this thing this year. It's kind of like geocaching.
Yeah.
It's the new things that people are looking for.
There's one of the real classic hot rods there from
Yep.
CNR Hot Rods. That's an old early 30s Ford that's been chopped and made into a convertible. Classic Mustang there, 289, 1965.
Is it 65 or 56?
It's a 65 Mustang.
Okay.
Didn't have Mustang in 56. Mustang came out in 64 and a half, April of 64.
Okay.
Now here's a 67 Mustang.
Yeah, and that's not stock.
Oh no, that's a dragster. You can see
Yep.
that. It's got the traction bars in the back, and
Yep.
I don't know what's under the hood, but it's probably more than it needs.
Well, it sounds like it has some muscle under there.
That's a 67. That could be anything all the way up to a 427.
And I think those folks are the ones that have the hot dog food cart on First Street that are driving that.
Oh, is that right?
Uh, Yes. That I didn't know. Yep. And I believe she also works at AutoZone.
That I didn't know.
Yep. And I believe she also works at AutoZone.
Well, they got a bunch of dedicated people, and when you get people committed, things happen, as you know. Well, now that makes sense.
Yeah. But that's quite a business they've developed on First Street with that food cart.
Yeah, it is. You go back east, you see those all over the place.
Yeah.
Every 10 feet in New York City is a pizza cart.
Well, I hope more come to Newburgh, to be honest with you.
Some people might think he's revving up that motor just to show off, but those high performance engines with the camshafts they got them, you need to clear them out. They load up.
Keep them cool.
Yeah. You got to do what he's doing.
Yep.
I wouldn't want to see that Mustang break down on the road. Did you, Al?
No, I wouldn't. Well, that'd probably happen before a Camaro or something.
Okay, there we go. I knew it was in you.
Yeah.
I knew it was going to come out.
Well, I got to get reality and truth out there, sir.
Just wait. I'll get even.
Okay. In the meantime, we have the Shale and Valley Dance Academy, which is a great group started here in Newburgh and branched into McMinnville. Not the other way around like so many things sometimes happen.
I'll tell you one thing that really is impressive, and it's a hallmark of this area, is the amount of things that the communities have for kids.
Yes.
I mean, it keeps them busy, it keeps them engaged, it develops them in various areas of endeavor for down the road. There's just nothing like it.
And it takes the wind out of the sails of those that say there's nothing here for the kids. That's a crock.
What was that saying? Idle hands are the workshop of the devil?
That's right.
Isn't that right?
Yep.
Boy, now there is a classic Thunderbird, Al.
Now, would that be a stock color?
Yes, it was back in those days.
Was it?
Okay. That pink. They came back with that
pink.
later. Yeah, they came back with that later and called it salmon.
Okay.
That is a good-looking 657 Thunderbird right there.
Now we have a 1974 Crown Fire Coach.
Idaho City.
Yep. It's been around to a few fire departments, and their plan is to eventually restore it back to its appearance in 1974. Now we have the Alcator group coming.
I'll tell you one thing, that's yellow, isn't it, Al?
Yes, it is. There's no question of where the yellow went.
No. And they're never going to lose that in the parking lot.
No.
I'll tell you that.
And I've seen that floating around town a little bit here lately.
Oh, and here come the Shriners that we were talking about a little earlier.
Yep. And for those of you that are counting, this is entry 66. So we're about halfway through.
They have their own motorcycle escorts.
Yes, they do.
Labeled Shriners and everything. That's pretty impressive.
The Shriners struggle to keep mobile people on the street because, like so many groups, their folks are getting older.
It's a nice looking Porsche there,
yes,
isn't it? That Porsche convertible.
Yep.
Boxster. And here they are.
And here's the Oriental Band, City of Roses.
This is interesting. We've got both exhibits this year.
Yep.
We got the band and the famous Shriner cars. Very cool.
Well, I thought they'd play for us, but they weren't. So
I'll tell you one thing: the Shriners hospitals,
they do miracles.
That is something for them to be very proud of. The Al Caber Shriners.
And here comes the famous Calliope.
This is the most representation the Shriners have had in this parade
in several years.
Yeah,
we've had it in the past, but
there's the locomotive.
Yeah,
hauling the Calliope. Well, that's very impressive. We appreciate that support they're showing for us.
Well, and the Shriners just keep coming on. There's a lot of them in here. This is a large group this year.
This is a big display. Big display.
Here, just have a listen to the Calliope.
Some things you never forget. I remember those Shriners and those little cars they used to use. Now they're using ATVs, or four-wheelers rather. And
Yeah.
I remember those as a kid in the little community parades back in Pennsylvania.
Now we have the local Masonic group here. And that's a group I think that's starting to kind of refresh itself with some new blood in the organization.
It's all part of the same
Yeah.
organization, though, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Now here's the Yamhill County Fair and Rodeo ambassadors.
Oh, there
And
we go.
just so you know, next week is the Yamhill County Fair.
Yes, that's coming up, isn't it?
And if you like the carnival that's in Newburgh this year, they're moving on to McMinnville next week.
Oh, it's good to know.
Yep. Hayworth Family Shows, one of the oldest in the state of Oregon.
Yeah, I had heard that.
And this is the original owners of that company were doing the Newburgh Berry Festival in the 1940s.
That's impressive.
Yep. And
Did
in
you-
those days, the carnival set up across the street from Memorial Park where the PGE substation is today.
Oh, I see. Well, see, it sure is nice to have somebody with some history here, Al.
Well, I was going to say, there are things you don't challenge me on there,
Well, that's
John.
right. Only because I don't know.
Yeah, well, and some of this you see in the movies that Brian Francis runs at the Cameo from early day Newburgh.
Well, that's another thing. That Cameo Theater is quite a landmark, isn't it?
Yeah, it's in 1937. And the other thing, too, this last week it was announced that the 99W Drive-In made it onto the National Historical Register.
Yeah,
And
that's a fact.
That's a huge
Yep.
accomplishment because I know Brian's worked long and hard to get that on there.
Did you ever go to the drive-in, Al?
Yes.
Yeah?
In fact, I work out there every weekend.
You're still there?
I'm selling tickets out there.
Oh, I'll be darned.
Yeah.
Well, good for you.
Yeah. Because you see, his grandfather was my first boss.
Did you ever take a date to the drive-in, Al?
I can't speak to that on the radio. Thank you.
Just thought I'd ask.
Well, I gave you an answer.
Yes, you did.
Peel Excavating just went by us. They're a great company that plays a huge role in clearing a lot of the mountainsides for the new vineyards.
Did you get down to the rodeo in St. Paul this year, Al?
I did not.
I'm going to tell you one thing. I've been to a few of those now in a row, and this one was exciting.
Good.
It really was. The Bulls won. I will give you that much.
Yes. And usually when I go to the rodeo, I don't take in too many of the actual rodeo shows.
Yeah, I get you. I got you.
Have you ever been to the Pendleton Roundup?
Yes, I have.
That's an experience.
Yeah. I was out there when Reba McEntire was the performer. The Potter's House Christian
Yeah.
Church. That's from McMinnville.
Feeling groovy, yeah? And now we have the Newburgh Business Person of the Year, Alan Brown.
Alan Brown. He's retired now, isn't he?
Yes, he
Alan?
is
Yeah.
retired, yes. And the Citizen of the Year, Dave Hageberg. And I think you would have to call him Mr. Bypass.
Well, yeah, he had a lot to do with it.
Yeah, he's the granddaddy of it.
Only took 27 years or so,
Yeah.
didn't it, Al?
Alan Holstein, the Dundee Business Person of the Year. And they're L. Johnson Furniture since 1948.
was
Yes,
like-
that's a nice looking Ford,
It
John.
is, isn't it? I think it's about a 54, too.
Yep.
Kenny Austin just finished restoring a 1954 Ford F-100. It was his birthday.
Oh, okay.
He was born in 54.
Yes.
Makes him 60 if you're listening out there, Kenny. And
Yeah.
it's the most beautiful restoration of a truck I've ever seen.
Good.
Al Lida did that out there.
Well,
and,
Al Lida is just
man,
a
oh,
jewel.
man. Yeah, it's
I
incredible.
guess he's going to be retiring here
At
soon.
the end of the year, I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah. He'll be missed.
And here, of course, is PGE, the group that works to keep the lights on in Newburgh. Thankfully, we haven't had too many squirrels causing problems for them.
Yeah, or storms lately.
Yeah.
That's the thing out here that's kind of unique when those 600-foot fir trees start to fall down and
Yeah,
take
you know,
out
that
power lines.
electric storm a couple of weeks ago, that was fantastic to watch.
Nice to watch.
Yes, it was.
You wouldn't want to be on the receiving
I
end
know.
of one of those lightning bolts, I'll tell you
No,
that.
I wouldn't. Kind of raised havoc with some of the city of Newburgh's communications.
Yeah, it did.
They got that back up and going.
Yeah, some of those light shows are pretty impressive.
Yeah, and we rarely get them, especially during the day.
I know. So, Seattle, they get a few. You know,
Yeah.
that Space Needle gets struck about
Yes.
10 times a year.
Have you been up in the Space Needle?
Oh, sure.
It's a great place. I had
It
lunch
is.
up there one day,
Yeah.
and it was one of the rare clear days for Seattle.
Yep, I remember the first time I saw the Space Needle was in a movie with Elvis Presley. It happened at the World's Fair.
Okay.
See there?
Yeah. No, I wasn't there, but I remember the World's Fair.
There you go.
Now, this would be Portland Community College with their theme is a cool community college.
There's a lady that you got to say is a sport.
Yep, I do.
She's obviously just been operated on with her leg, and she's in a wheelchair, and she's still out here promoting Portland Community College.
Good for her.
It's nice that we've got PCC in Newburgh now. That
Now is good because
yeah.
we were forgotten by them
Yeah.
for a number of years.
Yeah,
I'm glad they decided to come in.
it's really a good thing, and they're really starting to have an impact.
Yeah, they're becoming a much bigger part of the community. Now we've got some Indian girls.
Yeah, and Indian
These
ponies.
outfits were made over a 7-year period.
Wow. Look at all the beadwork on those.
Yes, and it says there's 40,000 beads in her outfit, and the male's outfit has 10,000 beads. There's just a lot of beads any way you look at
A
it.
lot of beads.
I'm not going to count them and challenge them.
No, I ain't got long enough left to count those, I don't
No,
think.
me too. And the next thing we have coming here is the Foo-mobile. Was this an early day Ford?
No, I don't think we could take credit for that.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of interesting, though, how it's
Only
balanced.
one of 5 in the world.
Yeah, it's balanced on just 2 wheels, and that's it.
Yeah.
And it steers like a, the steering mechanism is like a bulldozer. You know, it's almost like a lever, but it's hooked to a steering wheel. Pretty cool.
Here comes another activity for Newburgh, the Newburgh dance team. It's the high school dance team. Just some more positives for Newburgh, folks. We are so proud that this goes on all the time, and with the dedicated advisors they have to make these things go.
I understand these young ladies have been pretty successful in competitions, too.
I have heard that, yes.
I don't think they've won a championship yet, but from what I understand, it's only going to be a matter of time.
Well, that's it, yeah. Who knows? Some of these could parlay into the rally thing and be the groundwork for some more future stuff there.
There you go. Like you said earlier, you know, it starts early.
Yep.
And the earlier you start, the better you get usually.
Yeah. Well, years ago, that's what helped keep Newburgh's high school wrestling program going, was programs down in the grades.
Well, I'll tell you, that's probably Newburgh's biggest claim to fame
It is.
in high school athletics is the wrestling program.
Because even when I was in high school, they were taking state championships just regularly.
Just like a friend of mine, Jim Fettig from Jim Fettig Construction, his son Cody is an up-and-coming wrestler, and he's been wrestling for 10 years. I think he's only 13.
Yeah.
You know, so.
But that's where you come up with champions.
Yeah, that's it. Oregon State can thank Newburgh for a lot of the wrestlers it's put through there, too.
Yep, they can.
Oregon State's pretty proud of their wrestling program for good reason.
Ron Finley, a graduate from my class at Newburgh High School, was a coach down there.
Oh, is that right?
Yes.
Yeah,
it's more of the class of 58, one of the best classes to come out of Newburgh High School.
Yeah, 58 was a good year, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
I'm questioning whether the music is doing what they want it to right now.
I don't know.
There seems to be some scrambling.
Well, audio difficulties when you put on productions like this outside.
That's right.
Unfortunately, it's part of the deal.
Well, that, and I just watch Dave as he scrambles around over here at times. And
you're going to have trouble. It's just a matter of when.
Yeah, and speaking of Dave, You look where he's come in the last year with this radio station.
Oh, yeah, I think he's
I
terrific.
can remember when you and I did this with Larry Bonsack.
Yeah.
And a great man that he was. But look where Dave's taken this station to
Yep.
today. Larry will just smile.
Yeah. No, I think Dave's done a really good job with this, and you need to have this.
Yeah.
You know, and they're good about doing on-site broadcasts, and the AM van is being restored.
Yep, it has been.
And that's a good thing to keep that tradition going, and it's just wonderful that Dave has taken that to heart.
And he didn't know until this weekend when I was telling him that they had a studio in Newburgh for years.
Yeah.
And
one of the things that I like, and we advertise on it, and that is they pick up the high school football games.
yes.
And a lot of people when they go to a football game will listen to it on handheld radios, or
Yep.
they'll play it, stream it online or whatever, so they can hear an announcement, a play-by-play while
Yep.
they're at the game.
Yep. No, and he's really jumped in to be part of the community. We've watched him through the Old Fashioned Festival and all of that, and a lot of it's a crawl and learn for him, but he's just open to all of it.
Yeah. A lot to be said for that.
Yes,
Well,
it
you have
is.
to have the interest is what you
Yep.
have to have. And you can't fake it either.
That's right.
You
And
gotta.
he's not faking it.
No, you've got to really be interested in giving back to the community.
Well, that, and then when these tie-dye T-shirts he's selling,
Yeah.
his wife did 600 of those herself,
Oh my gosh.
and now they're for sale, and that's to help build the fund for their tower restoration.
That'll be a little flashback to the '60s too.
Yes, it would.
Tie-dye
Yep.
T-shirts.
Yep. And
I
here we
remember
have
those.
Newburgh Youth Football. Some
Yeah.
more players of tomorrow for the high school level, if you will.
Well, yeah, as we were talking earlier, they've really come a long ways with this program in the last few years. I remember when people were coming by and asking for support from local businesses to get the program running, and it certainly has been a good investment.
Yeah, it is. You talk about those tie-dye T-shirts. Look at the back of Dave's shirt. He's wearing one of them.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
that's reflective. That'll glow in the dark, the KLYC stuff.
Is that right?
Yes.
Well, I'll be
And
darned.
he's got those for sale down in Memorial Park for $20 a pop.
Yeah.
I probably won't wear it too much, but I bought it just to support the ongoing upgrade of the radio station.
Here's a martial arts operation here.
Yep. They'd put me to my knees in an instant.
I don't know what they call those sticks that they use. There's a name for them. Those bamboo sticks that they fight with. But they look like they know how to handle them, don't
Yep. Could you do the cartwheel that young man just did?
they? No. Maybe I could have at one time.
Yes.
And he did it one-handed.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Well, we got a county commissioner candidate here, Stan Primozic, I believe you pronounce it. Number 81.
Yamhill County Commissioner.
I think he's got one competitor. So that'll be a good, lively election,
Yeah.
just like the sheriff's position.
Yeah, the sheriff's is going to be interesting.
We can be assured of one thing: the new sheriff will be named Tim.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and everybody out there has their preference which.
That's right.
Don't they, Al?
Yes, we do.
Which, of course, they're entitled to.
Yep.
Right or wrong.
That's the nice thing that we all get the chance to vote, and goodness knows I hope everybody does.
Yep.
Otherwise, you should shut up and not complain.
It's your voice.
Yep. Good morning.
Now, the winner of the election this fall will be taking Kathy George's place, won't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's correct. Which, good, bad, or indifferent, will be a whole new direction that our county commissioners will be heading.
Yeah. Yeah, I always found Kathy George to be very, very helpful, and she's a member of our Rotary Club, and there's another one.
Yeah. Mary Stern was a great loss to me also. But
Yes,
she
yes.
moved on to bigger and better things, and
Well,
more
that's-
power to her.
That's the way it works.
That's right.
It might not be a bad idea to get some better people at higher levels, Al.
Yes.
What do you think?
That's fine.
Okay.
But there again, we've all got our opinions on this.
Yes, we do.
La Sierra Mexican Grill out of Dundee.
Yep. Have you eaten there, Al?
Yes, I have.
Yep.
Good food.
Good place.
It looks like they got a mariachi band on
Yep.
the back here.
And it's authentic
Yes,
Mexican food.
and that's part of the celebration that'll be going on tomorrow at the Mike Boys International stage.
Yeah.
Or no, today,
Yeah.
with the dedication at 6 o'clock tonight of dedicating it to Mike.
Good.
Here's the other sheriff's candidate, Tim Svensson. How are we? Yes. And here they're playing on the last name, not the first name.
Yes. Yes.
Here's an old-time Farm All Cub tractor.
Well, there was an old John Deere went through a little earlier.
Yeah.
And, classic tractors like that are getting, well, of course, then there was a Ford in here, too.
Yeah.
An old Ford tractor. Unlimited monthly tanning at Tanning 19,
Yeah.
Al.
I need that.
Yes, you.
I need that.
Yeah. Well, where are you going? You don't need a tan if you go to
I'm
the
doing
Oregon
a cruise
Beach.
this winter. I'm going to the Caribbean.
Oh, are you really? Well, I didn't think you were going to get tanned out at the Oregon coast.
No.
Yeah.
No, KEX has got a deal that I'm getting involved
Well,
in.
perfect. Well, that'll be fun for you.
I'm looking
Which
forward to-
islands are you going to?
Jamaica.
Oh, that'll be a good one.
And it's a 7-day, 11-day thing total, but it just kind of interested me.
Are you going to do some time in ports?
Yeah, by hours.
Hours, yeah.
The base point is New Orleans, and we go there.
Well, that'll be nice.
Yeah,
That'll be fun for
looking
you.
forward to
Good
it.
for you.
Here's Gale's Towing. I've been to New Orleans once, so that won't be totally new, but all the rest of it will be new for me, and I'm
I've
looking
been to New
forward
Orleans
to
a
it.
number of times. That the only trouble was I was there on business all the time with Ford Motor Company, and it seems like they got in a rut and always sent me there in July or August.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that is punishment.
Yep. Another sheriff's candidate. Now we've got Midget Motors here. There's a long-time Newburgh business.
Yeah, and they do good work too.
They do.
Yeah.
If anybody ever needs small motor repair, that's where I recommend.
Yeah, and if you ever leave ethanol fuel in your weed eaters and hedge trimmers and lawnmowers, you're guaranteed to have to go to Midget Motors to get the carburetors cleaned.
Yes, and you know what they did? One of the times I was down there, put a valve on the fuel line. So when I run it dry, and that saves all the fuel lines.
And then it'll save it.
Yep.
It can give you some seal problems from time to time.
Yep.
Actually, Avgas is the best to store.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah. Aviation fuel, that is, in case you didn't know what Avgas.
I know Avgas. Isn't that what you got to use to keep a Ford running?
Hey, they run good on Fords will run on anything. See, there's another T hot rod, Model T.
Yes.
Edelbrock motor. Those are the kind Ken Austin was racing around in here when he was a kid.
Yes.
He's got a couple of those originals in his collection that are pretty interesting.
Yep. Oh, now we got some square dancers coming, the Valley River square dancers. And they're right here in Newburgh, too. You know, that's something you and I could do, John.
I never could do it. I didn't know what the language was. That's one of my technicians up there.
Oh, it is?
Jim
huh?
Elliott, yeah. The guy in the maroon shirt.
Okay.
I didn't realize he could dance that good.
You just got to remember your left from your right.
Yeah, left, right, yeah.
Now we have the Dundee Women's Club here. And just to remember, they've got always looking for help to restore the Dundee Community Hall.
That looks like
I'm
One of
wondering
the
if that
cars.
isn't.
It looks like one of Ken Austin's.
That's what I'm thinking.
That looks like the Rose Parade car.
Yep.
I'm not sure it is, but it looks just like it.
I'll bet it is.
It could be.
Hey, could you walk on these stilts here?
For a ways.
Yeah, well, I went flat on my face. Now we got Camp Tillicum, or Camp Ticklum as I refer to it as, 95. Just so you know, folks, we're at 95, so we're starting to grind this great parade down. A lot of young people get a good start on what life's like out in the country.
Yeah, it's got a really good reputation
Yep.
for that, yeah. And there's a nice looking Chevrolet Caprice right there, 1966 I think that is, isn't it, Al?
Yes.
Haugen family? That's a really nice restoration.
Yeah, and a nice sounding exhaust
Yeah.
system on it, too.
And they kept it original. Those wheels are the ones that were from the factory at that time.
When you had to keep a good coat of wax on them.
Yeah.
I remember
that's
those
right.
early chrome wheels.
That is right.
Yep. Here's another old-time tractor here in Minneapolis Moline, 1948.
Yeah, look at that.
Obviously been cleaned up and kept looking nice.
Yeah, there's been some work on that one.
Yeah. Probably doesn't work in the fields every day.
It's got an alternator on it. They upgraded the electrical system on it.
What would have been before, magneto?
Yeah.
See, I do know that.
Yes, you do.
Yeah. Give me a little credit, buddy.
Oh, I give you lots of credit, Al.
Oh, yeah.
You're just not around when I do it.
Well, we've come a long ways.
Yes, we have.
And coming along behind them, we got Sunshine Cleaners. They've been around for 35 years.
Yeah, isn't that something?
And a great company.
Yep, they really are.
When I still was working and needed shirts done right, that's where I had it done.
You know, I actually. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
They are good at repairing drapes and like of that.
I had a tuxedo shirt that I thought was a goner, and I took it to them, and it came back and looked brand new.
Oh, yeah.
I never thought they could get it as white as it was when it was new, and they did.
Thank you. I took some old drapes out of the Cameo Theater and had them cleaned there. And believe it or not, they looked at them beforehand and said, yes, we can.
Yeah.
Because we're figuring, Brian and I were thinking it'd probably been 30 years since they'd sent any cleaners.
Is that right?
Yep.
Oh, my gosh. Never too late, I guess.
No. Kim Thatcher for State Senate.
Yep.
And this would be, I think, Shalem Youth and Family Services. Another very active group in town. For a lot of folks, they're behind the scenes.
Yeah.
But they've done a lot to save a lot of young people. And
Yep.
they're a whole lot more involved than you would realize if you don't get out of your shell once in a while.
Well, that's what it takes. Interest, involvement, and
Yep.
commitment. And
Yep.
then those folks have it.
I've been to their fundraisers a time or two, and they do a heck of a job. Well, the mellow tone.
The mellow tones, yeah.
Once in a while, I enjoy that kind of music, but not a lot of it.
That's their specialty. Dean Martin,
Yeah.
Frank Sinatra,
Yeah.
Tony Bennett. The old crooners.
Yes,
The only one left is Tony Bennett.
that's about right. Greg Hotman. It's a State Farm Insurance Agency, and it says they've been in business for 32 years.
In fact, it does.
And now Yamhill Utility. Dig Safely. Newburgh Public Works.
That is a good idea, by the way.
Yeah, well, anymore, you best not put a shovel in the ground if you haven't checked.
Yeah, and it might not only just do damage to the power system, it could do damage to you.
Or put an end to your future.
Or gas lines or whatever.
Yeah.
It's a service, too. They come out. They don't charge you for that.
That's right.
All you got to do is call the company and they'll
Here's
get it
some
handled.
more Dig Safely, pulled by a truck from Northwest Natural. Know what's below.
Call 811.
Yep.
That's what you do. Call 811.
Yep.
It's that easy.
I even had them come in, one of those companies come in once and locate a water line in my backyard.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. Newberg Auto Works and Auto Electric.
Well, now there's some work on a float right there.
Yes. There's been a lot of work put in on that. That is impressive.
Yeah, they built a whole car.
Yep.
1957 Chevrolet.
That's a lot. I'm impressed with that.
There's about an old Volvo as you're ever going to see right there.
And it's in pretty good shape.
It is.
Yeah.
I don't think that was the original color.
No.
I don't think Volvo was big on purple. Metallic.
I think somebody's tried to get into the door. It looks like the key is gone.
The key's missing, yeah,
yes.
right.
And I'm guessing maybe this is Fred Meyer. I don't know, maybe more part of the, hard to say.
Well, here's another dragster coming.
Yeah.
Nova SS.
I'll bet that's been to Woodburn.
I'm sure it has.
You ever go over there?
Yeah, I've been there a couple times.
Have you?
Yeah.
I remember when that was an 8th mile track.
Oh, is that right?
And McMinnville had the only quarter mile track in the Northwest, short of Puyallup, Washington.
That drag racing is unbelievable. The speeds they're going down a quarter mile.
Yep.
Funny cars and the rails 350 miles an hour and a quarter of a mile. I mean, 40 years ago, that was considered impossible.
Because I did some drag racing in my day.
Did you?
I had a 40 Chev.
Yeah.
With a big 409 in it.
Oh. And the 409 was a truck motor. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did pretty good on the street.
And a B&M Hydro tranny.
What's that old song? Saved your pennies and saved your dimes, and before you knew there'd be a time and you'd have a brand new 409?
Yeah.
Is that the way it went?
Something like that. But I'll tell you, drag racing is only for people with deep pockets.
Oh. Yeah, it's expensive.
Very spendy.
Expensive hobby.
Yeah. I did that back in the days when I had the Dairy Queen here in town.
But then, almost any hobby is.
Yeah.
You got to think of it, how much enjoyment does it give you? And if it does, then it's probably worth it.
And do you like it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, this is Square Deal. It's a construction company here in Newberg. I think their offices are down on West 1st Street.
Have you noticed, Al, the number of new entries this year?
Yep, I have, very much.
It's really, really encouraging.
It's a sign that shows for you and I how alive Newberg is becoming.
Yeah, it really is on the right track, that's for sure.
And it's exciting to me.
Yeah, it's exciting when you can look at a town or city or whatever and say the best days are ahead of it,
Yep.
Not behind it.
There are those that will argue with me, but they need to get involved with the real world and see what's going on.
History's a wonderful thing, but you need to have the future.
Yeah, and I'm a firm believer if you stagnate, you die.
Yep, that's a fact.
Well, this is pushing for the geocaching event. And riding on it is the chair of this year's Newberg Old Fashioned Festival, Kim Zoutendijk.
All right. Congratulations, Tim. Nice job.
And it looks like they've got a trophy also. I see that. Yeah, Michael. Good for you.
1:30 at the main stage for the geocaching event.
Good. And just so you know, folks, this is Kim's first year at the head of this old-fashioned festival, and if you see her, you need to give her a great job because she has put together a great group of people, and we can be proud of that.
I'm not sure what this is, but it sounds like it's going to be interesting. Treasure hunting for the modern days with your phone apps or GPS.
Oh, it is.
Our event starts Saturday in front of the main stage at 1:30. So anybody that might be listening, if you care to get into that geocaching competition, that's the time and the place.
It goes all over the United States.
Yeah, interesting, isn't it?
Oh, I know that in the past, so there's been, well, the back of the Yam Van's got a point on it.
Mm-hmm.
There has been in the past out by the drive-in theater. There's been a point. They're all over.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing. That's interesting concept that somebody came up with.
It's kind of like disc golf. It's the thing of today.
Yeah.
Now this is Heirloom Roses.
Oh yeah.
Long-time business just across the river from Newburgh.
Yeah, they are. Louise Clements, and her husband had that.
Yes.
And the roses are very highly regarded.
Yep. And that, you haven't been around long enough, but that goes back, that property they're on goes back a lot further to an old-time farm name in Newburgh.
Is that right? Yeah.
They're in the Newburgh-St. Paul area.
Yeah, it's been the roses since I've been here.
Yep. And now we've got Newburgh JBO baseball.
Yeah,
just some more stuff for the kids in Newburgh, folks.
And Newburgh also has a really good baseball program.
Yes, they do.
And in the high school, I mean,
Yep.
and they've had some opportunities at the state championship level in the past.
Yep.
Pretty highly regarded. And again, another activity.
Yeah, and now we got
we've been touting.
the Newburgh Early Bird Rotary here, which is, from all that I know, a very active Rotary club here in Newburgh.
Oh yeah, both clubs.
And I have been to the other Rotary also,
Yeah.
the Noon group,
Yeah.
but this group is just out there.
Yeah, it is. It's a good organization.
And their trailer, the Oktoberfest is what they're advertising, and that's being pulled by 1946 model LA John Deere.
The old popper, they call
Yep,
those.
Johnny Popper.
Yep.
And if you didn't go to Oktoberfest last year, you need to go down this
Yep.
year. I would put that right up with the Brews and Barbecue.
Oh yeah, I think so too. In fact, we sponsor one of the beer, one of the beverage stations. I guess
Yep.
I should say, shouldn't I, Al? One of the beverage stations we sponsor.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I understand.
And there's Kelly
The
Hockman
Kelly
from the
Group. Yep.
My wife is affiliated with
One
that
of the
operation
very
over there.
active real estate organizations in Newburgh.
Yeah, really, really very good. And Kelly, again, is a really community-oriented
Oh,
person.
yes. Now coming along is Waste Management. A very, I guess you would say, visible group organization in the community.
Yeah, they come by our place once a week.
Yeah, they go by my place once a week. And they've really been doing an upgrade on their fleet. All the trucks are freshly painted and clean. It's a good thing.
I like the way the recycling has changed.
Yes.
That's a much better way than it used to be.
Yep. I think that's probably one of the local guys, is it not?
Probably so, yes.
I think it is.
Oh, and here's Abby's Pizza.
Yep.
The American Pie, it says there.
Well, Abby's has been here kind of forever.
I was down at one of the Oregon State baseball games with Craig Kosmecki,
Yeah.
who owns it, and he set up a pizza oven down there
Oh, did he?
in the parking lot.
For his tailgating.
Yes.
Okay,
It's the
awesome.
only time I've ever been there or any place where pizza was cooked on site for a tailgating party.
And with some good beverages to go with it.
Beverages, yes.
Yes,
exactly.
beverages,
Yes.
And now, coming up, I guess that would be Jewel in her 2008 trike. Okay. She
Kind
got
of
a trophy.
That's kind of interesting.
Now we have the other county commissioner,
Sal
Saul
Peralta.
Peralta.
There you go.
And all I can say is be sure you vote this November so you have your say in the future of the Yamhill County Commissioners.
Yep. We certainly can't argue with that. I think we're just about to
I
the
think
end
we're
of the
just about
parade here,
there.
aren't we, Al?
We have the Pooh Prince coming along. The Pooh Princesses
Oh, there
coming
we go.
along here. That's a new one, the Pooh Princess. That is cool.
They're really cleaning up, aren't they?
Yes,
Al?
they are. Oh, they're doing their job right here in front of us.
Yeah. Big
And
sign.
we got a tractor picking it up from
Hey,
them.
horse, you forgot something. Yes,
Yep.
they did.
Oh, they make quite a production out of
Yeah, they
this.
do. Good
That would be
teamwork.
teamwork.
Yep.
And here's an old 1936 Chevy fire engine owned by the Dundee Fire Department.
Yeah, that's
That is an
Wasn't-
old Newberg engine.
yeah, that's what I thought. It
Yep.
was originally from Newburgh, wasn't it?
Yes, it
Yeah.
was, and it was in the same era as the engine that Ken Austin has restored.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's number 3, and this is number 4.
Yep. God, look at how far they've come, Al.
Oh, they've come a long ways. Oh, there's our parade chair,
Did a good job
Mr.
with that.
Gimpy.
That's the guy that tore his ankle up.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's his wife on the back on the far
Uh-huh.
side waving at us. And this is some more of his family. You know,
Well-
we've pretty well wrapped up the parade for this year. The Crohn's Appliance float coming along saying, "That's all,
That's
folks."
all, folks. Yeah. Well, there's some other vehicles back there, but I think they just made a wrong turn coming through town.
Yeah, they did. And when they get back to their destination, the back of their truck will be full
Yes, it will.
with barricades and all of that. Hi, Barb.
Well, Al, it's been a pleasure again.
Once again, I've had fun.
Yep.
had fun.
I think we've been at this for 10 years now. We'll
Yep.
make it 11 next year, God willing. And
And I think really this is one of the most relaxed years the two of us have had.
Yeah,
We
this
just-
has really
we
been
just
good.
kind of drove the show.
it's the first time we've been able to sit down.
And I don't know about you, but I totally enjoyed it.
Yeah. And shade even.
Yes, yes.
This has been a good one. And I want to thank Dave from KLYC for giving us this opportunity to participate in announcing this parade. It's a real pleasure for us. Hopefully, the folks out there that listen can have an idea what it was like. If yours and my descriptions were
Well, we
Good
did our
enough.
best, and I think, John, a thanks needs to go to you. But from what I understand, Newburgh Ford, which you're the boss of, is the sponsor of this parade broadcast, and thank you very much.
well, that's our pleasure. We just think it's a good thing to do, and not everybody can make it out here. And every now and then they like to listen, just like they do at a football
yeah,
game.
because
So,
I hear you on football and
yeah.
for sports, I
Yeah.
should say.
Yeah.
But thanks for sponsoring this.
Well, you're welcome, Al. Thank you for mentioning that. I appreciate it. And I guess we're about ready to turn this over to Dave.
And that concludes our parade coverage. We're going to have video up on our website later today at KLYC.us, also on Facebook, KLYC Radio. We had a little bit of a problem early on with the feed on our video. Somebody tripped over the cord, and we lost our power for a bit, but we're back up at least on the broadcast side of it. We lost our video feed on the internet, but we will have that for you later on. So if you weren't here, you'll be able to see what it looked like. AM 1260 KLYC.